Yeah. DoorDash was supposed to come 30 minutes ago, and then the courier stole my dinner, so they had to redo it.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Why do they
No,
do these things?
it doesn't bother me. I mean, I still get my food at the end of the day.
Yeah, but much later.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't understand why couriers do that.
Um, because I don't know if they get charged. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, it's theft.
Hi.
They should get
It is. It
criminally
is.
charged. Oh, that's crazy. But how do you know they stole your food?
Because they went 10 minutes in the opposite direction when McDonald's is 5 minutes from my house.
Gotcha.
So I don't even understand the reasoning why they'd want to do that.
Hmm. Especially when it's easy to track them
Yep.
and see that they're doing it. Fools. Why get a job like that? I guess somebody took a job like that for the sake of trying to get free food, maybe.
I mean, it's possible. But
Right.
like I
I,
said, I'm still getting the food and I only get charged once.
right.
All right, he's right outside. So give me 1 second.
Crazy.
Alrighty.
That was quick.
Yeah. It's because I would have gone myself earlier, but my car battery died. So I have to get a new one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's been one of those days.
Yeah. So new battery, new tires before vacation. It's a $600 expense between the two things, which I wasn't planning, but it is what it is. But
Why is my bit rate so high? The bit rate on my stream is very high, and I don't know why.
yeah, I'm asking for a refund.
Oh, the food is bad too?
Nah, okay. No, well, they just don't give me everything I ask for.
They didn't? Oh my god.
No,
So, on top of all
they
of
never
that,
do. It's why.
they didn't give you what you ordered.
Well, it's the barbecue sauce I didn't get.
Still though.
Nah, yeah, no, I agree. But they just don't care the one by my house. So I go to the one that's 10 minutes away because they always give you hot food and they always give you what you order. But it's no biggie. We got the transfer
I
collapses.
get
Oh
there.
my goodness.
What transfer collapsed?
Oh, transfer takeover.
No! Ugh, God damn it! No, that was like the one thing we were looking forward to over here was getting a decent takeover
It
footy.
was.
The hell is wrong with this game?
It hates me.
Hello from
To be fair, I
Thursday.
say it sucks.
That's funny. Hello from Thursday. Yeah, that's usually how that works. Time zones are funny.
Hmm.
You people of the past are quaint. Uh,
Oh, he's home.
let's see now. Well, my bitrate's staying high. It looks like can't do much about it. Hopefully it doesn't freeze. It hasn't done that in quite some time. Knock on wood. Bordeaux have a failed takeover? Wait, was that on my screen just
Yeah.
now?
That's in real life.
Oh, real life. Oh, there's
Yeah,
a ton of fake.
but
Everton's takeover fell through too.
it's funny because the people who say that who hate the fact that City Football Group own a bunch of clubs should be happy that the Bordeaux transfer takeover didn't go through because Fenway Sports Group was going to buy them.
Right.
So if you don't like a club purchasing or if you don't like one group purchasing multiple clubs, then
They're just trying to make it even footing with, the ones that set the precedent on this.
no, I agree. Like coming from like Fenway Sports Group, I don't care what you do, but for the fans that say, you know, City Football Group shouldn't be able to own all these clubs, well then you should be happy that the Bordeaux transfer got canceled because it's another organization buying a football club
But
when they already have
at,
one.
at
So
this point, it's just keeping even footing. That doesn't make sense.
no, you're not getting what I'm saying.
They should be happy
There are
because
people
another group isn't doing that.
there are people out there that say
Yeah,
City Football Group should only have one club, and that's Man City,
agreed.
which is fine. That's all I'm dandy. I don't care if that's what you believe in or
But they
that's what
don't.
you
They,
want.
they
That's
they own
fine.
but they own multiple clubs. So another place is trying to just keep up with that.
Yes, I know that. But the
Yeah,
people that say they only want City Football Group to own one
yeah.
should be happy that the Bordeaux transfer didn't go through.
No, see, because I fall under this category, and I'm not happy because I would like to see other people have equal footing in football to them. I think everyone should have the equal opportunity to try to compete with City, but it's not happening.
So then, are you okay with City having ownership of multiple clubs?
No, but the point is that it's happening, and it's not going to change, and it's not going to be undone because I don't like it. So if other people want to try to raise their profile to try to keep up with that, they might as well. I'm not going to be happy about anybody owning multiple clubs, but I can dislike City owning multiple clubs and also still be okay with somebody else trying to do it just to make it even. They don't have to be separate things. They could be. I can do both.
I- Is that not considered a double standard then?
I suppose you could spin it as a double standard if you'd like, but I mean, I would rather everybody only owned one club, but that's not going to happen. So, in the spirit of things being fair, I suppose if the standard is that you can own multiple clubs, fine. Let's let it be fair for everyone.
And that's fine.
I
If you
begrudgingly accept it if that is the only way it can be done to keep things even for everyone. So double standard, I guess, if that's the only way you want to look at it. But to me, it's more of a if I had a choice, which I don't, everybody would own one club. But that's not going to happen. So we might as well just accept that some groups are going to own multiple clubs. Well, let's hope that some of them can actually start to keep up. Because I understand why they're doing it. The development aspect of having multiple clubs to develop players and create larger scale infrastructure for developing footballers. I get it. Like it makes sense from that perspective. And I suppose it could be a good thing for players in the future, so it's not all bad. But I think
mm,
some of them do it to circumvent certain financial aspects. And I don't like that.
I don't think anybody would like that.
No, but there's only one team doing that. But
So you say.
so I say, oh, you haven't read the charges that they're being charged with, have you? Nobody else is
No, it's
being
100.
investigated or charged for that stuff.
What? All right. So if you want to talk about it, what's going to happen if they're found guilty? Like what's
Probably nothing because they're so rich they'll just buy off everybody and tell them to shut up. What should happen or what's going to happen? Those are two different things.
all right? What do you think should happen?
They should be stripped of their titles. They cheated. Straight up cheated. There's just no denying it. It's not even subtle, really. But they're so rich and powerful, nothing can be done about it. It's the
What do
only
you think will
reason.
be done?
What do I think will be done? Nothing, because they're
You
so
think
rich and
absolutely
powerful.
nothing?
Very, very little. They probably get a slap on the wrist or maybe a fine or something, because you just can't. You can't punish the powerful. You just can't.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Chelsea have sanctions against them a couple years ago for?
Probably, but not for buying and
Sure.
selling players between clubs that they own.
So
That's one of there's quite a few of those on City's records.
what about
Buying and selling
just
players
like
between their clubs to uh, I'm not having good words today. I said
it's
it a
okay?
little while. Circumvent certain financial aspects, such as agent fees and transfer fees and whatnot. Yeah, they're utilizing their network of players to get around some of that stuff, which would be fine if everyone could do it, but not everyone can.
True. Hmm.
I don't know. I understand you're a City fan, and so you have a bit of a bias. I'm a football fan. I actually have nothing against City as a team. I don't. I actually have nothing against anybody as a team. I believe in rivalries, and rivalries are fun, but I don't hate any team. I don't hate Manchester United. They have a long legacy and a great history, and stuff like that is good for the game. But as a fan of the game, in my mind, there is no doubt whatsoever that City has cheated to win. No doubt.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. I guess yeah. I guess I'm biased, but I just like. I think my main thing is that I wish people kept their standards straight. I guess.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
obviously, my big thing has always been people being upset of filthy rich owners buying clubs, and then all of a sudden they're completely hated, and then teams that are on the verge of extinction, a rich filthy oh not filthy rich but a very rich person buys them out, and all of a sudden they're it's a miracle what they've been able to accomplish essentially. um
What, City? There's no miracles. They had lots of money.
no, it's like no, Wrexham mostly, but like even when Newcastle got taken over, a lot of people weren't happy about it.
But the owners of Wrexham aren't filthy rich.
No, but they're pretty rich.
They're okay. Compared to the other owners of that same division, not really. Ryan Reynolds isn't that wealthy. He's
He's also not the only
moderately
owner
wealthy.
of the club.
Yeah, him and one other actor. Neither of them are billionaires. Neither. Ryan
No, but I'm
Reynolds'
pretty sure
personal
that
worth
they
is
have.
they have what? Lots of money? Yeah, they have quite a bit of money, but
Let's see, what is this?
they as owners, I believe, are only like halfway down the table in terms of the how rich the owners in that same division are. They're just running their team well as well. They kept it all within financial fair play rules, which is pretty good.
There's no financial fair play rules in Division 5, though.
Well, they've got to worry about division financial fair plays going up, and they still will qualify. So Ryan Reynolds' net worth is around only 350 million. He's far, far, far from a billionaire. He's still got a long way to go.
Who's the other
350
owner?
million is not a small amount. God, the other actor. I can't remember his
I'm
stupid
looking it up
name.
right now.
Rob McElhenney. Let's go look him up. It's not like this isn't public friggin' knowledge. It is. McElhenney is only worth 50 million, maybe slightly under 50
Right.
million. So between the two of
So,
them, 400 million, which, according to this table, makes them the 11th richest owners in the same division that they are in.
I don't know. If you took a team in League One and said, "Oh, your new owners are now worth $400 million,"
They
I think
would
they'd be
be
pretty damn happy about that.
they wouldn't be anywhere near the richest owners in that division.
Okay. I mean, you see, they're right in the middle,
Yeah,
but
they're in the middle. They're pretty wealthy. It's not like they're broke or nothing, but they're not the richest owners in their division, or not even close to it. There's a couple of billionaires owning teams in League One.
crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of billionaires on the planet now. Like, when I was a kid, there was only like a few of them. Now there's lots. We're gonna have our first trillionaire probably in our lifetime, and that was inconceivable 25 years ago or even 30 years ago. You know, like there was no possible conceivable way anybody could ever become a trillionaire. But we have a couple people that are on the borderline of it, on the precipice of it. I like some of the ways that people try to put that into perspective. They're like, okay, imagine you, Jacob, settled America. Okay, you came over on the very first settlers. All right, you came to
Hmm.
America day one. Right, and you made $10,000 a day every day until today. You still don't make as much money as the top 10 people in the world. You still have less
Which is
money than them.
crazy.
Like that's inconceivable to me. It's like, who needs this much money? Ah, that's nuts. So to me, the only thing in sport that matters and that I care about is parity. I like rules that fit for everyone that make things somewhat fair. There are certain aspects I don't mind where richer teams have a little bit of an edge. Okay, like use the NHL as an example. They have a salary cap. That's great. It makes good parity. It's one of the leagues in the world at a professional level that has more parity than most. At any given
I'll agree
year,
with you.
almost any team can win, and that's exciting. Teams like the Rangers and Maple Leafs have a little bit more money, and that's okay. You know,
Hmm.
so they use it they invested into their infrastructure and their some of their development systems and whatnot. And cool for them that they have that available to them as an option. That seems okay to me because they have more money. But on a competitive level, everything is nice and even. I wish football had more of that. It would be awesome to see because like realistically, you get like that 1 year Leicester one. Okay, that's cool, but how often does that happen? Almost never, and certainly not often enough. I mean, imagine being 100-year fan of a team like Burnley. Like you're never going to win anything. That's the reality of it. And how sad is
That's
that?
true.
Yeah, and it's
That's very true.
starting to hurt the game. Hi Trevor, thank you. That's amazing. 37.
It's funny because I have to admit that MLS, with as crazy and annoying of rules that they have, they do a pretty, in my opinion, a pretty good job of keeping the league parity. Um, I would say, with the exception now of what Inter Miami has done.
Right.
Uh, but I mean, any year, any given team can win it, right?
Sure.
And it's very hard to retain your players after a successful season because they want pay rises, clubs come after them. Um,
Naturally.
so it's very hard to maintain, I guess, dynasty status. And for American sports, or at least MLS, you can argue dynasty status is getting to the conference finals at the end of every year and not necessarily winning MLS Cup.
That could be part of it, yeah. Even baseball has better parity now than it once did.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There was a time when it was so boring. It's like, well, the Yankees are just going to win all the time, and now they don't. It's great. They actually haven't won in a while, so that's something. They'll probably win it this year, but or they're a serious contender again this year. But they
They are.
haven't won it in a while, so it's nice that other teams can win. I see
Mhm.
teams like Kansas City compete and Milwaukee, and I'm like, man, these are some of the smallest markets. That's awesome that they have a chance to
Oh,
compete from
yeah.
time to time. Nothing's more exciting in sports to me than a little bit of parity.
Can we make a pass? Wait. John Watts is back in the Premier League. Sorry. Um,
Jesus Christ. Of course he is.
he's with Sunderland. I think we sent him to Sunderland.
You did, eh?
Um, I do like the parody
Mm-hmm.
with MLB, but I also like the fact that there are still good teams that are consistent in winning.
Oh, naturally, you like
Um,
to see some top dogs. I mean, that's a good thing because the richer teams still have an advantage. They do, and they're not
yeah.
penalized for that. Like they can be more consistently competitive than the smaller market
Hmm.
teams. But
Yeah.
you could be a fan of any team in
Yeah.
the MLB, and at any given year, you have a chance to be, the underdog story of that season and come through and win something. Those don't exist anymore in football.
I will say with the expanded playoffs in baseball, that has made it more applicable.
Mhm.
You do get more of those teams that are buyers at the trade deadline versus sellers.
Mhm.
Because when it was only 8 teams in the playoffs, you have to win your division, and if you're 12 games out of the deadline, chances are you're not going to win the division.
Yeah, good point.
So
Yep.
you're selling your best players for prospects in hopes for down the road making the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But the money of football is getting pretty sickening. The top teams are really putting a gap between them and everyone else, and that I don't like
Hmm.
that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I can agree. It's almost like you can never see Bayern or Barcelona or City, well, United getting relegated.
I don't care if they never get relegated. It's more of a. It would be nice for smaller teams or underdogs to at least have a chance from time to time. Yeah, the Premier League keeps talking about putting in a spending cap, which would be lovely, except that it doesn't matter if the rest of the leagues don't do it. You need something on a bigger scale than just England,
So
which because that's only going to hurt England.
yeah, and in the end, it will only hurt England. You're right.
But their game's already suffering. The English fans are already starting to tune out because of the chasm between top and bottom. It's already happening. It's already a thing that's been discussed. And it's such a big deal to them in that country. They actually talk about it, in Congress and stuff. They sit around and talk about how to improve their footballing product in that country. That's amazing how
I
big
mean, they
of fans
haven't
they
won a
truly
major
are.
tournament since 1966.
It's not the country itself. No, I mean the Premier League and whatnot.
I know.
Like they actually talk about how English football is pretty much stupid because City's going to win every year, so people just don't watch anymore. They're starting to tune out. So like, what's the point? City's just going to win. That's not good for the game. You don't want it to turn into the French league, where
Mm.
their viewership has tanked because there's no competition in it anymore.
Was it like that when United was dominant?
United was never
You
so
know,
dominant that there was no chance of anybody else winning. Even when Liverpool was dominant, and they were more dominant than United, over periods, other teams still had a chance to win.
okay.
Right now, it really doesn't seem like there is anybody else who has a chance to win. The same team winning it over and over and over and over again is not a positive thing. Like you compare spectators through certain periods throughout even the Scottish League's history. When the same team won for so long, their numbers went way down. And the French League went way down. The Spanish League still has quite a bit of viewership because there's two dominant teams, but three or four other teams have a chance. That one, at least has a bit of a mix to it. Germany
Mhm.
is sustainable. Yes, they had one team that was dominant, but two or three other teams were always in the hunt with them. And now it's starting to become a bit more diverse because they did put some cost um, capping measures in place. Jesus, this game's turning stupid all of a sudden. Oh, I hate these games.
He's turning into me, everyone.
No, it's just these games, not this game in general, these games.
Oh,
I got distracted and forgot to put on my time wasting and shit. I was up 4-1. And then I scored to make it 5-1, and I'm like, okay. And I should have put on my time wasting. And then they scored to make it 5-2. Then I scored to make it 6-2. And then they scored to make it 6-3. And all of this is happening after the 90th minute. It's just dumb. 3 extra goals after the 90th minute. 6-3, and of course they've only got 4 shots on target. Yeah, no, I'm starting to like We Are Football more. just because it's an RPG game, and I don't have to watch the games. I don't watch the games. It's stupid, actually. The tactics in that game are non-existent, and the match engine is horrific. But everything else about it's pretty fun. Yeah. I just like to simulate through and see the youth players come through my academies and whatnot. That part's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to raise my children to become footballers, which is very entertaining. Yeah, that game is starting to grow on me quite a bit. I hope one day they make the tactics matter and make a match engine that works. But until then, it don't matter. I actually just let my assistant pick my lineup and tactics every game. I mean, I swap some players, but I just let him pick the formation and tactics every game. And I just got a really, really, really good assistant manager. So yeah, we win
Which
okay.
team are you playing as? Liverpool?
I made a new game.
Or Accrington?
I made no.
Okay.
I made a new team. I made a custom team.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I made a custom team
Interesting.
and started them in the bottom playable division, which I think is Division 4. And we got the very first season, we were supposed to finish mid-table. I managed to get the very last playoff spot on the last day and actually won promotion, which wasn't a good thing. The next season, we were doing horribly because I hadn't grasped development in the game yet. And we were in dead last with 11 games to play. And we went on a bit of a run because I managed to grasp some of the ways to motivate your team by using some of the boosts in the game and whatnot, the boosters.
Mm-hmm.
And we got within 2 points of safety and ultimately failed and got demoted. No big deal. Lots learned. Third season, though, finished first in the 4th division again. This time, development was on track. Everything was good. Finished first place. Cruised to the top. It was nice. And then we're back at the 4th division, and this is where I'm currently at. Or 3rd division. We're in the 3rd division in the 4th season is where I'm currently at. And we're sitting mid-table. Oh, wait, no, I finished it. I finished 11th. Right, the season's over. When I started up again later, I'm going to be going into the 5th season, but I stayed in Division 3.
Okay. How long does it take for you to complete a season in that game?
4 or 5 hours.
Okay, that's not that bad, actually.
It's not that bad. It really depends on how much detail you want to get into, but I mean, I do a fair amount of detail. Like I do interactions with my family every single day. That's part of what you're supposed to do.
Because you have a schedule or something, right?
Yeah, you have a schedule and a certain amount of points to fill up what you can do per week, and you have to make those decisions. But I figured out some little things that help make it smooth.
That's good. I have to give it another try. I really do.
It's a pretty decent game for what it is. It's got a long way to go, but if they keep working on it, it's going to be a very good game. It's not Football Manager though. Like that's the thing. And in a lot of ways, that's a positive in my mind. Like the tactics make no sense. I can't just put in like one formation, put my strongest team out there, and hope to win every game. It doesn't work. I tried that for the first season, and that's why we were doing horribly until but midway through the season, I'm like, fuck this. I turned it over to my assistant manager, and we ended up getting into the playoffs and winning the playoffs. After I stopped doing it myself, we started winning. I mean, there's some things I can control. Like, I ultimately decide when we're going to use certain boosters, because, like, I don't know if you saw those, but, like, before a game, you can give a bit of a team talk. You got a certain amount of points per year that you can use on team talks that boost your players for those games. The thing I find in that game that I have enough criticisms, but the main one is home field advantage has way too much of an advantage. Winning away from home, if you don't spend ridiculous amounts of boosting points, like I have to offer my players the next day off if they win. I have to give every one of my players bonus money to win. Like you can offer bonus money for wins. Plus, I usually have to spend a maximum amount of points on my team talks, the pep talks or whatever that you need. I have to do all of those things. Sometimes I have to give individual boosts to my individual players, which you can only do for them once per half season. Right? So like there's limits on how often you can use these things. But you have to do all of that stuff as the first place team to beat the last place team away. That's how strong home field advantage is on that game. It's ridiculous.
It definitely sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely needs a lot of balancing. Like, you can't just go in and hit, simulate the match when you're the away team. You're gonna lose every time unless you use some of the boosts in the game. You are 100% pretty much guaranteed to lose every game if you don't use those boosters away from home. And that should be like that. If your team is that much better than the others, you should be able to just beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't work that way. That's why I said it's a bit more of an RPG. It's yeah. It needs different things involved.
Well,
But it's fun, and I mean, I've been playing a lot of it because it's so mindless. It's great. I can turn on my audiobook and play it, and just sit here and turn my brain off, and that's not too bad. That's a good game in my opinion if you can do that and still enjoy it.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I've been playing a lot recently?
What's
Or
that?
OTP.
Oh yeah, out of the park.
Um, yeah, it's I'm right now doing a GM mode game where
Well,
it's just the GM.
I highly recommend
And
if you play We Are Football again to make your own team.
yeah, okay.
Just because when
I'll
you
do that.
make your own team, you could give yourself 10% of the share of the team as an owner, and then you can't be fired. And then that alleviates a lot of the pressure to learn shit.
Hmm. That was actually a very good idea.
Yeah. And right now I'm trying to work on becoming the sole team owner. But man, making money is slow on that game. And unfortunately, because my team keeps doing well, the price of the shares keep going up. So I'm not making this
Are
easier
you
on
able?
myself.
Are you able to sell them? Your
Yeah,
shares?
yeah, if I want to. Yeah, I could sell my shares in my team and then move on to a different team even if I want to.
Oh wow.
You're not stuck at the team you're at. I can sell my shares and go to a different team. But right now, no. Now I've joined the board, and so I have a bigger say in what's happening, and I'm having fun with that.
So fixtures came out for the Champions League. Basically starts off easy and then gets hard.
You got Champions League fixtures?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Milan. Lingby.
Well,
Oh, I
what
get to
about
play
Lingby?
Lingby. I got Lingby. Darn it. Slavia Praha, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona, PSV Eindhoven, and AIK. I don't feel like I have a very difficult group group of games here. Some of these teams have obviously gotten better than I remember them being, so but I don't play you for a long time, and that's good. Gives us a
Yeah.
chance to get firmly entrenched as number 1 and 2 in the league. Where am I right now? Second. Where are you? 12th. Why are you in 12th? Why have you lost to Sunderland and Brighton? Oh, away. Well, still. Ouch.
Very ouch.
Must have been playing backups again.
Nope.
I have no idea how the hell you lose to those teams. They're not even good. Sunderland's awful. They've won 2 out of 3 games, though, so something's going right for them. Guess they got a good manager, good tactic or something. It's funny how the game could just accidentally happen across decent tactics from time to time. It's not even trying to; it just happens to do it.
I still think the coolest thing that could happen in FM is tactics evolving. Just out of pure randomness.
Oh, absolutely, that would be
But
amazing.
they'd never do it.
Nope, it's all got to be like real life because the game is so realistic, don't you know? That just fucking drives me nuts every single time. But realism, I'm like, really? That's your basis for comparison on realism? A lot of people want to shoot themselves in the foot, though. They're like, well, if it's so realistic, why are we allowed to make our own transfers? I'm like, shut up! You don't want that taking that out, do you? Because how many teams does the manager actually make the transfers anymore?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he has influence on who they get, but when all said and done, making the transfer itself, probably nothing.
Even some teams, they have zero influence in who they get. Why do you think there's been so
Good,
many issues
but
at Tottenham? Their managers have basically zero input. Like the manager can come in and be like, "Hey, could you get me a new left winger?" And they'll think about it. But that's about the extent
hold
of it.
on. Think about it, then say no.
I mean, what's his name when he left there?
Pochettino?
But yeah, Pochettino. Yeah, when he left, he said he had zero input on transfers, and he just couldn't handle that. And that's why they ended up with the Australian manager because he doesn't care. He's like, "Yep, I'll just manage the team. You give me whoever." And that's why they liked him because he's more of a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of teams are going that way. Manchester United very rarely listens to their managers on their transfers, which because I mean Mourinho, he was like, I told them not to buy this player and that player. I told them they were going to be lazy, and I love how he's like such an "I told you so" guy, but at the same time, a lot of what he's had to say was right about when his tenure at United. Like I told them not to bring in Ronaldo. He's just going to unbalance the entire dressing, and he did. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. I mean, Mourinho may be out of date nowadays in his tactics or ways of thinking, but he's not an idiot. You know, for the
No.
most part, he knows what he's talking about. He's been around the game long enough. I'm not a huge fan of his or anything. You know, I think he's a bit of a sourpuss, but uh, he's not the nicest guy in the world. Let's just say that. I like friendly managers, people that are, you know, somewhat nice to their players and somewhat nice to the
A
fans and
lot of
whatnot.
people that are people.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't know. It's just something about them. They're more engaging and more fun to watch and cheer for. Like that's the thing. A lot of people. I remember a lot of people like, I fucking hate Liverpool, but man, I like Klopp. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? He's a nice guy. He's just friendly to everybody. He's got that big smile all the time. Well, most of the time. Less and less towards the end, which is why he probably quit. But you know how it is. Yeah, towards the end, he
Do we
wasn't
have an
smiling
idea on
nearly
where
as
he's
often.
going?
What's that?
Do we have an idea on where he's going, or is he taking time
He
off?
just took a year off. He's just taking a year off. He's not
Right.
making any commitments to anything past that.
Okay.
I don't blame him. He's done enough for now.
Also, was the manager of the U.S. team, but I
They
know
offered him the
he's not
job.
going to have a. Yeah, but they probably didn't offer him a good contract.
They did. They offered him
Even
a ludicrous sum, but he doesn't want. He doesn't care about the money. He wants a year off. Yeah, I don't think he's as money driven as some of them, but I mean, obviously he wants to get paid. Don't get me wrong. He's not going
yeah,
to go to some small club for a little bit of money. I think that the U.S. job had less to do with the
well, the
money
U.S. is a small
and more to
club.
do with the I can't ever win with this club, so no. Like they just want a big name manager. I know that, but I mean, that team isn't good enough to win the World Cup. Why would he want to go there?
Makes sense.
They're a threat to get into the knockout rounds, and then from there you never know what will happen. So I guess, technically speaking, they could.
Yeah, but for me, with this team, with these players, the expectation should be to get into the knockout rounds and even, maybe win a knockout game, especially with 48 teams in this World Cup.
The
I
Football
think the
Manager has
expectation.
some of the best scouts in the world working on the database. Have you ever looked at the U.S. national team ratings?
No, I know they're not France or Argentina or,
Yeah.
excuse me, England. And I understand that. And the way we played against the Netherlands in the World Cup was just complete garbage. But we have the players to at least put up some sort of a fight.
Got a few decent players,
Not,
definitely.
yeah, I don't think we should be getting walked all over the place
Eh,
like we
hard
did
to
in that
say.
game.
Hard to say. Ratings are also subjective on a player at any given moment.
They are.
I suppose if the U.S. went on a bit of a hot streak, they could probably play above their station, but they're very much a middle of the pack team in terms of countries. They're better than
Mhm.
Canada, don't get me wrong. For us, making the World Cup was the only thing that mattered. Hey, we got in. First time ever. Hooray. That was the victory.
Two editions in a row, mind you.
And then whenever he's like, "Oh, they could do something," I'm like, "They're going to lose every game." And I said that, and they did the exact thing I said, but they got there. So man, that's thrilling. But that's
They were
because we
not
do have
handed an
we have
easy
like
group.
we have like two good players. We have Alfonso Davies. That's great.
Mhm.
He can't win a game by himself, but he sure can help. And then we have
Yeah.
one decent other player. I don't remember who the hell it is. But other than that, I've looked at the team ratings in Football Manager for Canada, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going to win a lot.
The only player that comes to mind is Buchanan.
I can't
Is
remember.
the other like big name in Canada.
Hmm.
I can't think of his first name. Tavon,
I don't know.
maybe.
I don't. We don't have very many good players. I know Alfonso Davies because he plays in a big league. So yeah, U.S. doesn't have a lot of top players, and some of the ones that they have that are playing the big leagues aren't playing minutes.
Hmm.
Like, what's his name there? That's in
For sure.
purgatory constantly on that one winger you have. Was it Chelsea?
Yeah. Pulisic played the whole season. Excuse me. Pulisic played the whole season at AC Milan.
At AC Milan, yeah, yeah. So he's kind of borderline on a good player on a decent team.
Decent team. They finished second. Did they not?
In Italy. Yeah, so he played. Okay, so he finished second place on a team that might win a round or two in the Champions League in the most defensive league in all of professional football. I don't like the Italian style of play. It's so defensive. It's almost a negative football. I don't know how much of it you've watched, but it's not it's not pretty football.
Oh, I haven't watched much, but
Yeah,
I
it's
think
its own thing. Let's put it that way. Yeah. They need to really change. They need to modernize. That's what I'm looking for. They need to modernize. They need to get with the times if they ever want to be more competitive. They got decent international teams with good players on it. I'm always like, these guys can make a real, run at something, and from time to time they do. Like they won the last Euro Cup, not this one that just passed, but the one before. So they're capable. They can't play negative all the time. That's never going to work for sustainability. And I wish the professional league would reflect that. Juventus threatened to change it by being the one attacking team, but then they've been sanctioned into oblivion. So I mean, I don't want them getting around the rules either. But I did like that they were an attacking team in an otherwise defensive league, which is how they found success. You're quiet over there. Your game not going well
nope.
again? Oh my goodness, what's happening?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said your guess is as good as mine at the moment.
Yeah, because ratings wise, you have the second best team in this division. So I wonder what's making them play like poop.
Uh,
And there's one of the things about Football Manager that a lot of people can criticize, and I'll agree with, is that your team can just play like shit for no apparent reason, and you'll never know why, unless you know how the game works, unless you know the inner workings of the mechanics. You just never understand why your team's playing like shit. I've tried to explain it to people. I'm like, they're like, oh, that Christmas slump where they figure out your tactics. And I'm like, no, it's match load. 99.9% of the time it's match load. Nobody's watching their match load. Stop playing players on high match loads. And then they're like, well, how come the game doesn't tell you that? And I'm like, I agree with this. My game's over. I guess you left yours. I'm guessing you exited your game?
You're right. I did.
Yeah, because your game usually isn't done before mine.
That's very true.
Uh,
We drew 1-1. Oh, look,
uh,
Nikolai Mullen scored.
wait, you left the game when you were only down 1-0?
Yes.
Wow, you were really not liking how that game looked then.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't help match loads when I have 4 games in 7 days. Yeah, no, and another good point. In Europe and other comps, exactly. You have no choice but to play people with high match loads or very high match loads in those instances sometimes, and the game has it set up so that you are basically fucked if you use those players. However, you're always hoping you're playing against somebody that is in a similar situation. But more often than not, no. You got Champions League where you have to play your best players. So then you end up with a league game against a team that's not in the Champions League, and you're like, well, this is where we lose points in the league, and that's never good either. So
We've
yeah,
always had issues with the scheduling in FM.
yeah, it is not. It makes no sense. I have issues with the match loads. I do. They're like, well, it's realistic. No, it isn't. There's players who play every single fucking game and play well at a high standard. Don't tell me that's realistic. It's not. So there's, right off the bat, Mohamed Salah plays almost every single game for Liverpool, right? Pretty much every game. He doesn't get many breaks. Sometimes he comes on as a substitute in the 70th minute, but I think there was only like 4 or 5 games the entire year he didn't play it at all. So he played well too. So where is the argument that players can't do that? What they need to do is diversify. Start making the stamina or what else? I think that a few things. Work rate to stamina. There's more other words that matter for that. Maybe it's some of the. Anyway, start making that matter more. Make it so that there are certain players who just have really ridiculous stamina. They can play more games. Their work rate doesn't go up as high as other ones. But right now, it's a static match load for every type of player except for goalkeepers. And that just it's ridiculous. Like right now, if I play a group of players over the same amount of minutes over a certain period of time, they were all hit high match loads at the same time. Does that make sense? I don't think it does. Yeah, managing match loads is a pretty big deal in this game, but at no point do they tell you that. It's not in any of the tooltips. It's not in the instructions. It's just something you're supposed to just figure out. Drives me crazy. how little they want to share about the game and how it works, because they want to and I know why that is. They don't want people to figure out how simplistic it really is. They love that people think that it's like this really divine AI that's capable of adjusting and adapting to things. They love that people think that. It makes them look like geniuses for making this game. They don't want people to know that it's really, really, really basic underneath it all. And that drives me nuts a little bit. At least the We Are Football people, they're like, yeah, our match engine is not great. It's really, really basic, but it still gives you a pretty neat feel of the game. I'm like, okay, see, at least they admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I was bitching about their match fitness issues. They fixed it. Like, there we go. Right on. They went in and they addressed it, and now it's better. How hard was that? To say, oh yeah, this definitely needs looking at, instead of somebody who's like going to be, super defensive about it and be like, no, that's the way it's supposed to work. Shut up. Football, because realism.
Are you taking part in Deadline Day?
I did. I probably should.
Okay.
I did because I think there's a player I'm still trying to
That's
buy.
Fine. I just wanted to make sure I hit the same button as you.
This guy's already agreed to join me. Never mind. I didn't need to do that. He doesn't join me till 2038, however. Oh, I don't even get him for 3 years.
Do you find a player thinking you can get him right now?
Sorry, what?
Did you sign a player thinking you were going to get them right now?
I just didn't realize it was going to be 3 years away. I thought maybe a year or two. I didn't know. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see. Can we garner $100 million right now?
It's going to be stormy this evening. Rotate as often as I can when I have that run of fixtures. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Yes, Drop Bear. I get it, man. It is infuriating. It shouldn't be like that.
Excuse me.
Drives me nuts too. You should be able to like load up on some players who have really high work rates and stamina, and they're able to persevere through those heavy match loads and still play well. Why don't players like that exist in the game? They exist in real life. Where's that realism, man? Where is it? So I did a thing because I really needed to kind of take it in. I stopped in a big streamer's stream.
Oh,
I don't know how they
oh,
do it. How do you have this wall of text flying up the chat? Like, and they don't even acknowledge 10% of the people in there. It's just like an
I think
echo chamber of people who just want to narrate what they're seeing. And what's the
yeah, I was just
point
gonna
in
say
even
that.
typing to a streamer like that? They don't. They almost never address anything anybody says or asks.
Oh, no idea.
Yeah.
I tried streaming. It wasn't for me.
No, I understand, but I watched that and I thought, why would you want to hang out in those rooms?
Was it an FM streamer?
Yes, it was.
Do I know said person?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not going
Okay.
to tell you who it was. The point of what I'm trying to say is that it was just text flying up the chat. Like, they don't address it. They don't acknowledge it. They just mostly ignore it because it's impossible to keep up with. Let's be real.
It is.
But my question isn't about the streamer. My question is about the people who stop in those rooms. Why?
Well, I guess I mean a lot of them have discords as well, like you do.
Hmm.
Um, so there is a sense of community in that way. Um, maybe because they're same reason people watch us because they like the save or they like the person, they like what they talk about.
Mm,
Um,
mm, mm, mm.
and maybe some people just use it as an audio reference, like if they're doing work and they put them on for listening to almost like a podcast.
Yeah, well, that's true because actually, if you look at the VOD views, we have more viewers through the VODs than we do when we're live. I'm good with that. A lot of people tell me they watch me because they get actual answers to their questions, and they like that because there's so many people that will either guess or don't know or give them the wrong information, and I don't do that, which is good. That's why most people watch. But their number one complaint is, well, you don't stream when I'm available. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I kind of do that on purpose. I don't mean to. I don't ever want a chat room that has that chat. I don't ever want that. I would lose my mind because I feel like I want to answer everyone. I don't know who the hell this player is. Okay, sorry, there's a thing in front of me that said that I had a bid for a player that I rejected. I don't remember this. I don't care about this player. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, I don't ever want a chat room that does that. I get overwhelmed too easily. Why? Stupid questions, too. Media stuff. That's another thing I don't miss in the We Are Football thing is they don't have a bunch of dumb media questions over and over and over again. There's none of that shit. I'm just playing football, which I like. The media stuff is such a
29 million? Fuck no.
what the hell does this say? I don't know what the hell that says.
Hey, we're not in the bottom
To
for
my
commercial
wishes?
revenue.
I don't understand. Commercial income, second to last.
Better than last.
You're
But
not wrong.
it's also 12 times lower than what Newcastle makes, which surprising that Newcastle is the team that makes the most commercial revenue.
It is, actually. Yes, I could hear you too, but I just didn't understand. To my wishes. I'm not sure what that means. I had to look up what that meant, but I don't understand what to my wishes has to do with it. Budget depleted. My budget's depleted? What? How seriously is your transfer budget depleted by the sort of deals you've made this window? They're not? What? Bless me. Oh, it actually translates as to my wishes, but okay. Fair enough. It's kind of questions in this game though. That's ridiculous. How seriously depleted is your transfer budget? Like, um, have a lot. They keep asking me about players that I don't know. Like, are you going to bring this player in? I'm like, I've never heard of him. They're like, are you going to sell this player from your team? I'm like, they're on my first team. Like, I don't. It just randomly generates this shit. It's based on nothing.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Maybe next year we should stream We Are Football instead. Get
Can
people
you
to
do?
convert
I don't
to a
know.
different game. Hmm?
I don't know if you can do online games there.
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. How?
So, are there any leaderboards that you have to worry about?
Nope. There's no leaderboards. You have a pretty busy
Awesome.
transfer window. Has I don't know. I had a busy transfer window. I don't remember having a busy transfer window. Didn't I bring in like 2 players? The fluff in this game. It's the thing I don't miss when I'm playing the other one. So these guys want to buy a player from me, but they don't want to pay me anywhere near what he's worth. Go figure. Uh, that's a We Are Football. They need to improve the transfers. I don't get very many offers from players almost ever. Even when I want to sell somebody, I have to actively go out and seek a deal.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to offer a player that you want to sell individually to every club, and you only get to do that 5 times a day.
No, thank you.
It takes forever to find somebody to buy a player that you want to sell. That one's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that.
But in this game, there's just all this fluff in between. I'm bidding on this player again, and they're still not offering what he's worth. Why bother having a value if nobody's offering you the value? At least, like I said, it's hard to find a buyer in that other game, but when you do, they offer the value that's there, or sometimes more. Very rarely less.
Wait.
Like I tried to sell a player for 800k. The team that I was selling him to had 900k. But, and this is the one that'll get you, you have to factor in the 800k transfer fee plus his signing bonus plus his agent fees. So the entire fee would have been 1.2 million and they had 900k, so they couldn't afford it. I myself am starting to learn this. Like I bid 1.2 million on a player. I had 1.8 million, but the agent fee and signing bonus would have put it at 1.9. So I actually couldn't afford the transfer and I had to back out.
Wow.
Yeah, but that happens in real life. So I was like, okay. I just got to make sure I factor this shit in ahead of time. But yep, that's the buying is fun. The selling is not as fun. But I tried to sell a player, and I eventually had to lower his price a little bit. But the team is honest and like, sorry, we can't afford this transfer. You know, they don't just try to undermine you or any of that shit.
I guess I really should try and give it another go.
It's a pretty good game overall. Like I said, there's some aspects that need improving, but not nearly as many as fucking Football Manager has. There's things on Football Manager that just drive me to drink. I'm serious. I cannot handle a lot of the bullshit of this game. The repetitive media shit is the worst. Wage expenditure. Wow, you spend as much on wages as I do. Pretty good for a broke team.
Maybe that's why we're broke.
Well, that's all
No,
right.
that's not broke.
You're competitive,
That's not why we're
so
broke.
you're competitive. Like I said, ratings wise, you have the top talent in you have the best top 5 in the division. But on an average, you have the second best rating. Because I mean, on average, I have the highest still. But you have 3 better players than I do at the top. Okay, now they said I had a quiet transfer deadline. A minute ago they said I had a busy one, and now they're saying I had a quiet one. Make up your goddamn mind, game. Stop playing mind games. Go through every one of these individually because they've got international duty things over top of them. I don't think I'm missing anybody that needs to be registered. I hope not. Okay. Why can't they show me this list in here?
Right, let's see. We have 4 homegrown players at the club. Good.
Nice. I don't know if I have enough space for all the players I need to register. But
Who the hell are you?
out of players.
Wait, you're the goalkeeper. You're not getting rich. Do I have to have 3 goalkeepers now?
2. Champions League? 2.
Okay, so I can't register everybody. So clear selection. Desleal Carlotti, Carlos Fagni, Madrino, Eliamani, Caracol, Rodrigo, Tiago, Camacho, McDonald, Poliak, Reese, Abreu, Atkas, Amador, Dragon, Tino, Bauer, Garoso. Do we need to register you? No, not at the moment. Estevez, you're the 3rd choice keeper.
Okay, I hope I did this right.
Can we register 2 of them?
All right, I did it. Yes, I didn't leave anyone out.
Nice.
I managed to register everyone, and I didn't leave anyone out. Yay!
Yes, that's what I'm going with. Colorhersuck, Soltado is 3.5. That's fine. Singo is a right back. That's fine. Dest. Yeah. Stratton, I have no idea who you are. Okay. So we have potentially 4 players that are going to be mad at me. Let's see. We have, at the moment, none. The Yankees are about to get swept. There's the season swept about against. Let's try this again. The Yankees are about to get swept by the Mets.
For their season series, or just this particular one?
The season series.
They only play each other, what, 3 times or 4 times or something?
4.
4. So the Mets are going to win all 4.
Still,
Huh?
yes.
Pretty crazy.
I agree.
What the hell is your concern? You want more money. Oh my god. Because of course you do. Did you? It says you just sent me something.
I was cleaning my keyboard and accidentally hit enter.
Oh, but nothing got sent on this end.
Oh, because I deleted it.
Gotcha. Oh, international games time, is it?
Yep.
All right then. I haven't dealt with any international duty on that other game, so I don't know how it is. I haven't tried it at all.
Say that again.
On the other game, I have not tried
No.
international duty, so I don't know how it is. I'm sure it's less stupid than this one, though. Anything would almost be less stupid than this one. This one makes 0 sense.
Oh, so the Rockies in real life won 20-5 against the Red Sox today, and the Houston Astros beat the Oakland Athletics in their last game at the Coliseum to be the only away team above 500 at the Oakland Coliseum. Every other team has a losing record against Oakland at the Coliseum, except the Astros.
No, I don't think anybody else is going to get a chance.
Or the fact that they're already confirmed to have losing records there
Well, that and they're never going to play there again in the future. So
at the end of the season. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so nobody's going to have a chance to turn that around.
Hmm.
Because I mean, give it a few seasons. The A's are pretty bad. Some of those other teams could actually get their records up.
It's funny you say that. They are a pretty bad team, but they're the hottest team in baseball right now. Believe it
Yeah,
or not.
doesn't all have to make sense, I guess. Which is good
It's
because it doesn't.
baseball.
Oop, a penalty, eh? Who's my penalty taker? Okay, works for me. I thought it was funny. For France, Mbappe's at exactly 200 appearances.
You gonna leave him at that? Or were you?
I'm not calling him up anymore, so
I love it.
he's regressed to the point where he doesn't qualify talent-wise to make the team. So yeah, that's where he's going to stay. Unless I have significant injuries between now and then, and I have to call him up. And in that case, he might play, but you know, if things stay status quo, he's not playing anymore.
Yeah, but it's World Cup qualifiers. I'm sure your third string can do better than most first teams out there.
I'm trying to play my first team as much as I can to keep them in form.
I don't blame you.
Some of these players aren't playing for their club teams, so I don't have a choice. My top striker has no games on his club team. Why do they have him? I don't know. But the
It's
AI picks based on form, so he wouldn't have even made the team.
yeah. It's funny because OOTP is similar. I found some good guys on reserve rosters that I was able to trade for. and they have major league contracts with quite a decent amount of money, and it's just like, why are you in the reserve round? Like, like they should be able to find a spot for you, even if you DH for some of the games,
Yeah,
just to
but
get
you
you
can
a
only have
bat
one
in the lineup.
DH.
That's true, but like, I mean, everyone has to play defense at some point, so give that bad fielder a game once a week or once every 6 days or something like that.
Well, this is why I like to do development thing in Out of the Park, because I can force players to improve their defense year after year after year. Because I often find with a
Yes.
lot of my prospects, I get to a certain point where they're ready to hit, and oh man, can they hit! But their defense is
And
terrible,
their
and
defense.
I will not put a player out on the field unless they play first base. I will not put a player out on the field that has less than 60 defense in their position.
Wow.
I just won't do it. Even the catchers all have to have rocket arms. Like my catcher in the game is just a shit hitter. Like he's just awful. I think he batted 110.
Oh, wow.
But he's got a rocket for an arm and he picks off everyone who tries to steal. So that's what I care about. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
You can definitely
If he could also hit, that'd be great, but he can't. So whatever. But yeah, 60 is the minimum for a player to make.
see in Italy
Like,
they I don't really have that option. I've gone with the fact that good offensive bats are better.
hello,
Um,
hello, Farah. Yeah, go ahead.
for me or them.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Um, in Italy, you can have offensive bats, and that'll outweigh the defense. I mean, we
Mm,
have great bats. Our base running is in the
pretty good.
bottom third of the league, but we were in first in every other category, every other offensive category, and it helps that our FIP was best in the league as well. So our pitching was really, really good.
That does help. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a
So we,
very high standard for players, obviously. That
oh, of
all,
course.
but and then there's me sitting there looking at some of the guys who can really really hit. I'm like, well, I guess he could be a DH one day, but then I got to remind myself I can only have one DH. So I've got to be a bit more picky. Wait, how many subs is there on this game?
Sorry, I don't know
Ah,
actually.
nope, 5. It's 5. Woohoo! It's
Nice.
5. I almost shot myself in the foot there, not paying attention. That would have been crappy if it was only 3 and I'd already made them. I mean, I hope. I think most international competitions are going to 5 now. Makes sense. At least I hope they do.
I think so.
Well, it's been discussed, so I don't know if it's official or if it's a thing or well, we'll find out. But it makes a lot of sense to have 5 subs in today's game. Oof, with how much teams play. But oh my god, that striker just scored an amazing goal. Wow. What's Jake talking about? He was talking about baseball, out of the park baseball to be specific, and how he is building his team. We talk about lots of different sports. I know it's a football stream, but we talk about all the sports. We talked a lot about football when we started, actually, about the state of the finances in the game and how there's very little parity anymore and how much it's ruining the sport, which is unfortunate. More than ever, the viewership for British fans is tanked, which I never thought would happen. I'm being unfair to the multinational team? Oh, am I? Sorry. I just
Um,
we're just playing a game here. I don't know what
I
I
will
could do to be more
disagree
fair.
because the first tiebreaker is goal differential. If it
Mm.
was head to head, then I would agree that you're being unfair. But since it's goal differential, you got to just keep scoring.
Well, there, I put them on time wasting and play for set pieces. That's not going to slow them down much. They haven't had a single shot or even an attempt at a shot. I can't do anything about that. I'm not going to give them the ball on purpose or change my formation to something wacky just for them. They got to
We'll
earn
give you
that
a
shot. But they're going to score on the one shot they get. That's just how this game is. Oh, there they were. They had the ball in my zone for like a second. Oh, they're going to come back now. Here comes a counterattack. Ah, all right. I'm not sure if there's.
This is the perfect time to put your goalkeeper up top and try and get him to score a goal.
No, I don't do silly things like that.
Oh,
Nope, not happening.
I know you're not. I know you're not me.
Nope.
Who's my second best penalty taker? My goalkeeper.
Oh, they had a shot attempt. There you go. They got one. It was a .04 xG attempt, but they got a shot attempt. There. Now I was not unfair to Malta. I made it completely fair. I gave them a glimpse of hope. That's ridiculous.
David De La Fuente. Sucks. Okay.
Reacts positively. I guess I got to do a team meeting and tell them how great they were. Oh, if I say this, they're all going to be mad. Oh, no, they weren't. Okay. I was worried they'd all get mad if I told them not to get complacent after that. But they decided to behave themselves. I say Euros, but I can't remember if they are eligible for Euros.
Amazon TV.
Which competition is this? Yeah,
Memories.
European Championship. Yep.
This one?
Yeah, this is European Championship qualified. They actually beat Lithuania and they drew against Georgia, so they're not doing terrible. But this is my group. So, we're doing all right.
What European countries are not eligible for the Euros?
I don't know. What the shit? Oh. God damn it.
Bring back Mbappe. Bring back Mbappe.
I don't have a choice. I'm pretty sure he's the next candidate to come up. Yep, he is.
Leave him on 200 appearances, though.
I can't guarantee that.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Do I even have a better starter for the right wing? I guess I'll start with Mbappe because I can.
I'll give Luke Mathewson honorary French citizenship for one game.
Oh, I gotta confirm the squad, right? I forgot about that. Right, so Mbappe's back. He's on 200 appearances. I said he wasn't going to come back unless there was an injury, and then they gave me an injury. I hate that because now I got to remember to call back up the other guy after, which I hate. Man, this game pisses me off. When I start playing other football simulator games and I start to enjoy them, it just really, really, really shines a big spotlight on how inadequate Football Manager can be at times. So, Minifair, I don't know if you've looked at or heard of the new iteration of We Are Football. I don't know if you've seen that. But it is something. It's not Football Manager in it, but it is very, very good in a lot of other ways. You know what's funny to me is they basically just took FIFA Manager and made it modern. And I always thought FIFA Manager was a very decent game. But this is it with no bugs, so that's another good thing. But yeah, it's We Are Football is the name of the game. They just put out a new version, We Are Football 2024. It's more of an RPG style. Like the tactics are terrible and the match engine lacks a lot. But I don't even play the games. I just simulate them. But the other aspects of the game, like I've built several youth academies. I built a youth academy in England. I built a youth academy in France. I built a youth academy in Canada. So I can try to churn out some youth prospects that I can bring through my youth academies. And it's got different levels of that. It has your under 17s and your under 18 or under 19s, etc. You develop them up. You build your own stadium and grounds. Like I just built a medical research facility. It's like Soccer Manager. I don't know what Soccer Manager is.
It's like We Are Football Light.
No, We Are Football is FIFA Manager repackaged.
Soccer Manager has some similar characteristics.
Okay, all right, right on. In this one, I've also, you got a family and children, and I'm starting to teach my children how to play football so they can eventually play for my team. It's fun, stuff like that. It's a very different take on football management, but it's very, very good, and they've come a long way and actually advanced the game a bunch. I used to complain about it a lot because I'm like, man, this game is lacking in so many ways, but they've really improved it a lot. I'm impressed with them now.
Excuse me.
Soccer Manager's like dead set similar. Okay, well, this one's basically they took FIFA Manager and modernized it. I'm not sure what Soccer Manager is. If it had soccer on it, I never would have played it. So right away, I would have been like indignant and been like, no. Oh, this is a mobile game, Soccer Manager?
You can also play it on Steam.
But it's on Steam.
But yeah. I think it's more geared towards mobile devices, but yes, you can play it on Steam.
Soccer Manager 2022. Oh, no. This is like a really, really stripped down version of what I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about has way more depth than this. Even this building your grounds here this looks just really cartoony and silly. Yeah, this looks like a mobile game. The one I'm talking about does not look like that. It has way more depth and layers than that, and isn't freemium. It's funny because like just 2 streams ago I talked about We Are Football, and I didn't have a lot of nice things to say about it because at the time they needed a lot of improvement. But between then and now, they've improved a bunch of those things, and I was like, they're listening to us. Who are these people that listen to their fans when making a football game? This is so not what I'm used to. I'm used to Miles saying, no, shut up.
Have you played Franchise Hockey Manager at all? Or no.
Yes, I have all of them
Yeah.
because they keep giving them to me. What do you want me to say about it? It's a simulator. It's a randomizer. It's a randomizer, not a simulator. Sorry, is what I meant to say. For fun, not FIFA or football. 1 second, sir. Okay, not FIFA or Football Manager. What? Yeah, Soccer Manager is a different game. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, you want to, if you get a chance, check out We Are Football. It's actually very interesting. But yeah, for fun, what I did in about listening to the fans. Nice one. Thank you. For fun, I decided to replay the first season on what's the most recent one? 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Franchise Hockey Manager 10. I went in and played as no team. Okay. I simulated the first season. Just simulated it, just to see what would happen at the end. And then I did that 100 times. And I made them a graphic, I made them a chart, and I showed them the results. And it was madness. So I'll give you a few of the highlights because there's a lot of information. But a few of the highlights were Connor McDavid, out of 100 seasons, won the scoring title in 17 of them. That's it. That's ridiculous. Like that, just right there, the game is stupid. Like, there's no chance that guy wouldn't win the scoring title the majority of the time. In fact, in more than half the seasons, he wasn't even in the top 5. And most of the time, he was healthy. That alone should just tell you that the game is not great. Never mind that. Some of the highlights were, and this one got me, so we ran down who won the Stanley Cup the most times. What do you mean who? Connor McDavid? Is that who you're asking about? Best hockey player in the world right now. So the teams that won the Stanley Cup the most times. It was pretty diverse because, the NHL is very well balanced and it somewhat reflected that. But I was expecting some teams like maybe Edmonton, Florida, Boston, the Rangers. I thought some of these teams would be the ones that would win the most cups. But no, the team that won the Stanley Cup the most times in my 100 seasons was the Detroit Red Wings. In fact, the player who won the scoring title the most times was Dylan Larkin. He's never finished top 10 in real life. So, you getting all this, Jacob? Jacob, are you... Hello? Did he go somewhere? Oh, he's muted himself. I'm not sure if he's getting any of this. Jake ran away. Well, it could be that his family needed to talk to him. That happens from time to time. Anyway. Or he's laughing too hard right now, and he had to mute himself. I don't know, one or the other. I actually think I still have... Why are these guys unsure? Well, I've got him inspired, but he is not. I hate how they randomly have that shit. This one. Hockey is it a big thing in Canada? Yes, it is. It's our primary sport. It's not our national sport. Our national sport is lacrosse, but not many people watch that compared to hockey. Hockey is the biggest sport here. It's a lot like it would be in Russia, Finland, Sweden. Those guys really like their hockey too. Yeah, it's our top sport here. I mean, I watch football more, but I played hockey. I was a goalie for... let's see. I started when I was 6, and I finished when I was 42. So 36 years I was a goalie in hockey. That's madness, actually, now that I say it out loud. I haven't played in a few years now, but age will do that to you. But I mean, football is not very big in Canada at all. Nor is it really all that big in the States, comparatively. Let's see if I can find... Oh, yeah, we have definitely the most players. Like, American teams keep winning, but most of the players on those teams are Canadians. No team has ever won the Stanley Cup with less than at least half their team being from Canada. Up until recently, not very many years ago, no team had ever won the Stanley Cup without a Canadian as the captain of their team. But that changed. A few non-Canadian captains have won since then, but every team has more than half their team is from Canada. It keeps winning the Stanley Cup now. Ah, yes, I found my experiences. But hopefully Jacob will be back soon. I can tell him about some of the things on here. Because some of it's just pure comedy gold. Own goal? Aw, I hate own goals. Makes no sense. Makes 0 sense to have an own goal. They should just credit it to the last player on the other team who touched it. It would make the statistics make more sense. That's something they do in hockey. I was to say Canada development is better than America. Yeah, for hockey? Oh yeah. We have definitely the best players in the world in hockey come from here. The Russians might disagree, but they can disagree all they like. Overall, we have the best players, but there's still some very, very, very good countries that have lots of great players. I named a few. Sweden and Finland and the Czechs, they're all very competitive as well and have very good players. Well, we're having a good game against Albania, too. In football, I have no clue about hockey. We're doing okay at developing some football players. I don't know. We're not doing like great. We have a few decent Canadian players. Football's starting to pick up a little bit here, which is nice. It should. It's the most popular game in the world. Good luck finding a cricket player in Canada, though. Nobody here has ever heard of that, nor do they understand it. That one's pretty funny to me. Some people I know talk about cricket quite a bit. I know Drop Bear talks about cricket a lot, and what little I know, I've probably heard through him or similar players that from other places in the world. But here, nobody plays it. I've never seen it being played. I mean, I'm sure there's little clubs somewhere playing it, but it's just not very big. And I know that's one of the most popular games in the world. Cricket is a patience game. It's very long. I mean, we have baseball, so we don't need cricket. I know it's not the same thing. Do I need to avoid playing Mbappe? Says Jacob. So I could leave him on 200 appearances. You watched a cricket game that took over 2 hours. Oh man, I've heard of cricket games that take days. Days. They play it for days. Not hours, days. I just can't comprehend this. 2 hours seems like a short cricket match. You turned. Oh, you turned it off after it hit for. Oh! I see. Yeah. I don't know how they can do it. I just don't. I don't get it. Average length of a cricket match over 3 to 5 days. The average 7 hours and 30 minutes. That's the average length of a cricket match. That's madness. How long is a normal baseball game?
All right, I'm back.
Oh. I didn't know you left.
Oh, sorry. I went to the bathroom.
I was telling you all kinds of stories about the hockey manager that you asked about, and yeah, then I realized you didn't hear any of it.
Sorry.
The average baseball game takes 2 hours 42 minutes. So it's still pretty long. Anymore. It is. That's up to date.
No, it's not. I've been to 7 games this year, and none of them gone that long.
Oh, no, they're getting shorter, but the average here still says they're 2 hours 42 minutes from this month, 2024. No. They're getting shorter, I know that, because they've put a bunch of rules in place to make them move a little quicker. But they're not cricket matches, which is what we're discussing. Cricket matches are average almost 8 hours a match. Or they play it over several days. It's madness to me.
Baseball games now are about 2.5 hours. 3 hours is considered a long game.
Yeah, but they do happen when you go to extras.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lost 4-1.
What is the last thing? Wait, you lost 4-1 to who?
Scotland.
Scotland beat Spain? You didn't play your game?
No, I went to the bathroom.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I just thought. Anyway, what's the last thing you heard me say about the franchise hockey manager?
Nothing. You were talking about how Real Football is not like.
Oh, okay. Because you asked me about franchise hockey manager, and I said it's a randomizer, not a simulator.
That I heard.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I did was I played the first season on franchise hockey manager 10 100 times, and I made them a database, a whole list of the experiences through that 100 season simulation. Like the first season over again 100 times. So play the first season,
Mhm.
start a fresh game, play the first season. All we played was the first season and nothing more. Okay. Over the course of that 100 seasons, Connor McDavid won the scoring title only 17 times. So that right there will tell you it's kind of a shitty game.
Did he win it this year?
In real life, no, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Realistically, he would win it more times than 17 out of 100. Now, here's the thing.
Sure.
He didn't even finish in the top 5 half the time, and he was healthy most of the time. How many days did that take me? Actually, not very many. Franchise Hockey Manager is a really fast game if you don't take over a team. So little things like that. So like over the 100 years, we had like teams that won the Stanley Cup the most. Now, you know as well as I do, NHL's pretty diverse on who can win. It's a very,
Yeah.
so you would expect there to be a lot of diversity in the Cup, and there was. But I thought I would see things like some of the more dominant teams like the Rangers or Bruins or even the Oilers and Panthers win most of the Cups. But the team that won the most Stanley Cups was the Detroit Red Wings. Inconceivable. Like, that's just stupid. In fact, Dylan Larkin won the most scoring titles. He's never finished in the top 10 in real life history, but he won the most scoring titles throughout that 100 years. And like it's things like that. It's like this game is a randomizer. It's not a simulator. Like sure, my experience is purely anecdotal, but over 100, like I'll give you some examples, some highlights because there's a lot of information. The very first season, the Ducks and Sabres won their conferences. Two of the worst teams in the league won the conferences. The Wild won the Stanley Cup over the Sabres in the final. Nick Suzuki of Montreal won the scoring race, and John Gibson of Anaheim won the Vezina Trophy. How is that conceivable in any way, shape, or form? Second time we played it, the Oilers and Capitals won the conferences. Okay, the Oilers could win their conference conceivably. The Capitals not real likely, but who knows? In the Stanley Cup final, the Oilers beat Carolina. Could happen. But the scoring race winner, the Art Ross Trophy for the top scorer in points in the league, was Alex Ovechkin. And he had way more assists than goals. All of a sudden, Ovechkin's a superstar passer at the age of 38. Like, what? And Stuart Skinner of the Oilers won the Vezina. Yeah, really? You like this, Jacob, so far? It's pretty funny, huh?
Oh yeah, no, I'm listening.
Okay. Third time around, Winnipeg and Detroit won their conferences. So the Winnipeg Jets, they're okay. They had a good year this year, but they couldn't have known that ahead of making the game. Still, though, very funny. Winnipeg won the West. Detroit wins the Eastern Conference. Detroit won the Cup over Seattle. Sure, why not? The Art Ross Trophy for top scorer in the league was Tim Stützle of Ottawa. And the Vezina went to Bobrovsky on Florida. Yeah, okay. Fourth year, Canucks and Rangers won the conferences. The Devils won the Cup over the Jets. Crazy, but at least that one's the least crazy yet. Art Ross went to Kyle Connor of the Jets, and the Vezina went to Hill on Las Vegas.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. Like, McDavid is having an off year here and there, like even this year, but they didn't know that before they put the game out, right? But not finishing in the top 5 scoring in any of those seasons at all. And he played at least 77 games, usually all 82. But it just keeps going like this. Like next season, Vegas and Ottawa, Washington wins the Cup over St. Louis. Art Ross was Ovechkin again. Again, the guy scores 100 points and 70 of them are assists. Ovechkin has had 70 assists over the course of 5 seasons in his career. Yeah, like he's suddenly at the age of 30, 38, 39 years old going to start getting that many assists. Give me a break. Dylan Larkin. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a lot of that bullshit in that game, and this is why I just can't stomach it. Okay, so this player was.
You used to like it a lot.
Franchise Hockey Manager. I never liked it.
No? Oh, I thought you
never.
did.
Eastside Hockey Manager. It's the one that I worked on.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. End of the season. Okay, good. He's okay with that. All right. Sorry, I had a player asking for a new contract.
Nice.
And I was addressing the Hockey Manager game. But yeah, he goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on like that. Just ridiculousness. Most seasons are
Where's this game being played at?
What do you mean?
Wrexham is playing Chelsea right now, live.
In what? Oh, sorry, in real life. Okay. They're all exhibition matches at this point, though, right?
Yes, but it's light. The sun is out.
No. Okay.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock on the west coast.
Yeah, the sun's still out if you're in certain places like Vancouver. The sun's out right now where I am, and it's almost 9 o'clock. It depends where you live.
I understand that, but I'm assuming this game is being played in the U.S.
Could be. So they might just be on the west coast. Maybe Seattle or something. It's possible. But yeah, I shared that information with them, and
Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. But, like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in England.
Mhm.
I wonder how many people in England are actually up to watch this game.
Lots.
Well,
You'd be shocked, man. Some of those people are hardcores.
oh,
Probably not a sold out stadium by any stretch of the imagination.
oh no, it's because it's Hollywood. That's why you hear Wrexham. Oh, they're playing in the U.S. Let's go watch them play, and you realize how crappy of a team they are compared to the Premier League clubs.
Who are they playing against? Chelsea?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, see how it goes. I mean, I know Chelsea didn't bring too many of the first teamers on their trip, so could be close. We don't know.
I just
But you were asking about franchise hockey manager because you got it and you're going to play it.
no. Oh no. So I like supporting them because they're the same developers as OOTP, but I'm not gonna pay
But they're not.
full price for it.
It's not the same developer. It's like it's the same type, like company name on it.
Same company. Same
Yeah.
company.
Different people
That's what.
entirely. In fact, the guy who makes that game, Jeff, was my assistant researcher for Eastside Hockey Manager,
Yes.
and they're doing the best they can. I'm sure that they are, but 10 iterations in, and they still can't get it even remotely realistic. I find it a little bit disappointing.
Fair.
I just want a decent hockey simulator. But it's a randomizer, and that doesn't work for me. I want it to be good so much. So much I want it to be good. Because playing Eastside Hockey Manager now, it feels so old. The game hasn't aged well, like because it's made with the same game engine as Football Manager from like I don't even remember what year. It's an old Football Manager game engine that was used to make Eastside Hockey Manager. And at the time, it was pretty revolutionary, but now it's just so old, and you can tell when you go to play it, it's like, man, this game did not age well. It's very dated, but the simulation is great in it. You know, like you can get up to date databases, and the game actually just got updated a couple of years ago, so it includes Seattle and everything else. But yeah, you can get up to date rosters and everything else, and when you play it, McDavid wins the scoring title most of the time, like he should. You know, so the simulation itself is quite well done.
Um, we just finished our game against Estonia. Sorry to completely change the
That's
subject.
okay. Go ahead.
Guess how many shots we had and how many shots on target we had?
You had 38 shot attempts and you put 12 on target.
Right, you're close on the shots. You're not close on the shots on target. You want me to tell you?
Yeah. Well, obviously.
So we had 42 shots.
Uh-huh.
22 of them were on target.
Oh, okay.
We had an 8.67 xG,
Mm-hmm.
and we won 14-0.
Still, you lost to Scotland. What the hell is that?
I know. What the fuck?
I don't even know how that's possible.
Doesn't matter. Top two teams get in.
True. You took over the number one
Scotland is a
ranked
good
team.
Scotland's 30th in the world.
That's not a team that you should be losing to. I did say,
No.
like, at least you have one decent team. So now, let's
Yeah.
see. We've moved up to second. Denmark's in first. When we took this over, Spain was in first. Spain is now third.
I'm such a good manager, aren't I?
Yeah, when we started, you took over Spain from first. When I took over, France was in fifth. I've got them up to second. Yes. But we lost the most recent tournament to Denmark, which is funny because this whole save started as a Denmark build a nation, and that country is good because it's full of players that we developed. Oh, that's fantastic. This just shows how well our build a nation for Denmark went. Their national team is the top team in the world now. I love it.
Yep.
I mean, in real life, they're not terrible. They're a pretty good team, but they're not likely to go win a World Cup. But yeah, I did win the World Cup
Chelsea
in this
scored.
game. I did win in this game with Denmark the World Cup before we got them really, really good.
Yes, you did.
They were fairly decent, but I didn't think I'd win it. And I think we got a really good draw, a couple of favorable draws. But we won the final. I think it was against France, even when they were still really good. Just a really good game. I remember because I changed the tactics.
You must have played Sweden in the semis then.
Did I?
Let's look at
The World Cups? Yeah. Just a sec. I'm gonna do a quick team talk here. Tell my guys. And then, yeah, I'll look at the World Cup. So we won the World Cup in 2026. How do I look at this?
Italy. You played France in the semis.
Semis, okay. I remember playing France and beating them because I'd switched
Right.
tactic halfway through the game.
Germany
Okay,
in the quarters. Go ahead.
How did you look this up? Because I want to look at it on here so other people can see it.
Let's see.
I'm on World Cup.
Where are you? No, you're on World.
Okay. Here's the competition.
Yeah, go ahead. Click view competition.
Mm-hmm. Matches.
Overview.
Fixtures and results.
Go to overview.
Oh, go to overview. Here's overview.
Stages.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Overview stages, and then go to 2026. And then where it says Group A, go to.
I got it. It's delayed on the stream for you, but I got it. Yeah, Denmark. Okay, we beat Italy in the final 2-0. Right. That's right. Oops.
And you see where it says round, hit T. Or tree, rather, it says. And now you can, from semifinal, you can hit second round, and then you can see the entire progress all the way.
Here we go. That's nice. So we beat Belgium 5-1. Then we squeaked past USA 2-1. We beat Germany 6-3. I remember that one because I had to switch the tactic halfway through that one too. And we beat Holland 2-1. And then we beat Italy. Wait, we didn't play France. France got knocked out by Italy. Okay, yeah, we played Belgium, USA, Germany.
It's been a different World Cup than I looked at by accident.
In this World Cup, we got knocked out by Mexico, but I didn't manage them. 2030, we lost to Italy in the first knockout round. I didn't manage them then either, I don't think. I only did the one World Cup as that. So in this one, they got all the way to the semifinal, lost to Serbia. Well, not bad overall, though. I remember playing France in the final. Must have been a Euros or one of the other ones, Nations League or something. I do remember. I did play France in the final once, somewhere. But at any rate, it don't matter. Did pretty well with them, all things considered. Winning the World Cup with them was kind of like just the whole what the hell just happened.
Icing.
Because I remember being down 3-2 to Germany at the half, and I changed the tactic, and we won 6-3, and it was like that was amazing. It's one of those moments that you just play the game for.
Well, my purpose is not leaving. Oh, excuse me.
Nope, I don't
I
want.
don't think I'm making it. I know. I don't think I'm making it to midnight.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'll make it as far as I can.
Tavares is injured. And I got a bunch of very tired players here. Oof. Who's going to play today instead? Hmm. It's an away game, so I can't overdo it, can I? Oh, I've got a Champions League game coming up. Screw it. All backups. Hopefully, I won't drop points. So many tired players, though. I put in Sebastian. Replace with Tovic. Barrier. Johnson. Make the angle. Ankerson. That's the team I'm going to roll with. Not a single one of my starting 10 outfielders. I mean, I'm keeping my goalkeeper the same, but all of my outfielders will be different players. And the bench is all backups. Keep them fresh for that Champions League game coming up. Plus, a bunch of them just played internationals. Eric Ten Hag is managing Norwich. That's really funny. That's something you don't run into very often. Oh, okay. David Neto is their goalkeeper in Norwich. That's where my goalkeeper went. I guess I sold him there. So they have a decent goalkeeper. This much I know. As he makes a save. Come on, Taylor. Pop it in there. Ah, boy. First goal of the season. That's the kind of thing we like to see. Just waiting to hear if there's going to be snoring.
Nope, I'm still here. But that's That is fair. That is totally fair.
It's happened. It's
Oh yeah.
hilarious. So funny. I loved it too because it was like, you're snoring. You're like, no, I'm not. Like, dude, it's on a VOD. Yeah. I went back and listened to it later. I'm like, yeah, he's totally snoring. Why do people do that? You're not the only one. Like, almost everyone does that. They'll fall asleep and be like, hey, you're sleeping. And they're like, no, I wasn't. You were snoring. No, I wasn't. What? Like, you were asleep. How do you know? Like, why do people deny that? I don't ever understand that one.
All right,
I,
I have another hockey question for you.
okay, that's stuff I know lots about usually.
Has the NHL ever used a 3-2-1-0 point system?
No, never.
Would you be in favor of that
No,
versus
I would
the
not.
current system?
No, but I want them to get
May I
rid of.
ask
But
why?
but I want them to get rid of the loser point. The loser point, stupid.
Interesting.
I hate the loser point. Getting a point from losing is just ridiculous. They did it because it
Okay.
creates more parity in the league and in the standings and whatnot. It's like, yeah, I guess. But there's only been like 2 or 3 instances where a team got enough loser points to make it into the playoffs that otherwise wouldn't have.
What would I call it? Loser points. I'm sorry.
It is. It's a loser
I've
point.
never called it. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Heard it called that.
Oh, well, now you have. Yeah, you lose an overtime or a shootout, you get a loser point. And it really skews the standings. But the funny thing, like I said, it's never gotten. It's only like 2 or 3 times in the history that it's been around. It's been around a while now. Has ever gotten a team into the playoffs that otherwise wouldn't have made it. And in both instances, it was teams that did not deserve to be there. So, to me, it's like
Huh?
go back to the 2 point system. 2 points for a win, and that's it. Nothing more.
Marco, these guys suck at this fucking game.
You're having a hard time with your team, are you? Makes me wonder what you changed from last season to this season.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I know you were tweaking your tactics a little, but I think it's funny that like one small thing can just completely undo a tactic in this game. I don't actually think it's funny. I think it's ridiculous, but I might as well just go with I think it's funny, because yeah, you could put in a tactic that works, like say the one that I'm using right now works really well. I could go in and just change it so that they like pass into space. That's it, nothing more. And all of a sudden, I'll lose every game.
Yeah.
It's nuts that can happen in this. Something that I dislike. This doesn't look good. From the way their players were placed, I knew that was going to fucking happen. Right from the get on that, I looked at him like he's going to pass it to that player, he's going to pass it to that player who's going to score, and I was exactly right. God damn it. They have 2 shots on goal and they've scored them both, because of course. I'm getting to a point where it's hard to defend FM on this, because like it happens a lot in real life, but not this often.
Yeah. Hold on, I have a message that I need to answer. Oops. Scott.
It's getting harder and harder to defend it. It's funny because like I saw that player stand in there about to take his free kick. I'm like, he's just going to pass it to their player, who's going to pass it to this guy. They're going to score on me. I drew up the play in my head before it happened, but there's nothing I can do to stop it. Nothing.
me not like.
There's no timeout button or any of that shit. So. Well, look at that. We dropped points for the first time in a very long time. A 2-2 draw with Norwich.
Oh.
I'm so glad we're going to be done soon. Is it? It's awful that I'm coming on here to stream this game to have some fun and sit and chill with you, but there's times when I'm looking forward to the damn thing ending because I can't stand this game some days. I'm getting less and less tolerant to this game.
Guy says he needs a third baseman super badly, but doesn't want to take my third baseman who's been injury prone the last 2 years, but still has a lot of upside. Okay.
Because he's injury prone. That's a valid reason, don't you think?
He's 26 years old.
Yeah. That's funny because that's like done developing in any other sport.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Let me actually just confirm his age. Yeah, he's 26, and the guy he's interested is 19. He's giving me a Cy Young player in return.
Uh-huh. So what's the problem?
I'm glad. No, I'm not. I was just surprised he doesn't want the guy that's 26, and the fact that he needs a third baseman bad. The 19-year-old isn't coming up for another 3 years, so do you really need a third baseman that badly?
Guess not. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about here. This out of the park?
One of the fantasy leagues that I'm in.
I mean, I don't know how those work, so I don't know.
Let's make some changes here.
I,
Clearly, this isn't working.
I remember at one point you said that you invited me to play as Toronto, but they had got rid of their best players, so I was like, eh.
Yeah. The player, yeah, fair.
And they're not even for decent returns either. That was the other thing that bothered me.
Oh, that I agreed with you too on, but I don't veto trades because they're bad or one-sided, I should say.
Well, yeah, those guys got fleeced pretty hard. Though whoever's in charge of that, it's unfortunate. It's going to make it hard to find a manager that sticks with the team seriously over the long term. Because what do you do for new players every year? Do you have a draft?
Yeah. So in my league, the way we do in most leagues is your draft pool is from the real baseball draft. So, for example, the draft that happened a couple days ago, actually, we'll draft those players in the off season for our roster.
Mm-hmm. So they won't
And
end up
so
on
we have like a whole.
they won't end up on the same teams as they are in real life, but that's okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Which means that Australian guy would not have gone first overall.
He still might, but yeah, it's possible that he doesn't. I don't know.
He was
how
projected to go
strong.
fifth. There was actually some players ahead of him, but they wanted more money. The reason he got picked first
Yeah.
is because he was willing to take less money.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. It should be draft the best player, but baseball's different. Come on, Rochdale, get a damn goal, would you?
Macho's gonna score right here.
That'd be an amazing goal if he did. Come off it. You don't see those very often.
No. How often am I right on that too?
I mean, that's oh my god, that's not a shot that goes in all that often. That is amazing. At least we got that.
Let's see.
Don't forget to do so.
Oh,
Oh, you forgot to put on time wasting. Oh, it's not too late. Quick. And praise your damn team, the whole team, not just the guy who scored.
fine.
It gives them a boost. It does. They play better, and you get fewer highlights against you when you do it. It's funny. They had 5 and 10, and you had 5 and 14, but your XG was so much higher than theirs. You created way more danger chances, and your passing was a lot better than theirs.
Chelsea and United are in the
And
relegation
your
zone.
possession, 68%. Wow, whatever you did with your tactic that game was good. I'm surprised. Well, you probably didn't score more because it was something you just threw together right then, right? They probably just weren't familiar. But they played it well.
Back to basics.
They executed it well.
Yeah. Now
Well,
they have to keep doing that.
it's also because you use DMs, and DMs work.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, they've underpowered central midfielders and overpowered DMs. I'm not a fan either. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I want to see so much more tactical diversity in this. There's a thing on We Are Football. My assistant manager picks our formation for every game, but he uses 5 different ones.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is a lot.
yeah, he's used 5 different formations over the 4 years that we've played, and most of the time to great effect. Yeah, like I said, I do not recommend taking over the tactics or management of the games themselves. Do the boosts and everything before the game, but then just simulate the game. Get a feel for it that way, and then start doing something
So, can
if
you
you want
play
to.
the game and be successful without using the boost?
Well, no, you have to use the boosts. That's what they're there for. You don't understand this, I know. I'd have to show it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Whenever we're done here.
At some point. At some point, I'll play it. Yeah. And
No,
then we
whenever
can.
we're done here, I'll just load it up and show you. Just really
Okay.
quick so you can see what I'm talking about for context. Or you know what? I can even just load it up before we leave the stream. Then it'll be on. Then everyone can see. Not, whoever's still watching. Son of a bitch. Oh, this gets exhausting.
Excuse.
Okay, cool. So now I've got to play Milan. A rather important game, I might add. One of the better teams I have to play at the start here.
Excuse me. So, so I found a a hockey simulation game
Mm-hmm.
on the phone, and I've played like old iterations of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I opened it up real quick just for shits and giggles and just to see what's around. And so for the draft class, you can check to see each draft class that's been loaded into the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they have players loaded for the 2041 draft already, which obviously makes no sense because they're 0 years old. So
So they're
they're
fictional.
they're they're well, they are, but their life has already been sorted out for them that they're going to become hockey players.
I mean,
So it's either a bug or how developers will like put Easter eggs to claim their stuff as theirs.
mhm.
Might be something like that, but I just found that extremely hilarious that there's a draft class full of people who are 0 years old, years old right now.
Yeah, so they're fictional.
Yeah, but like you shouldn't know a draft class more than 5 years out. I'd imagine.
Yep, it seems silly. There's only ever been a small handful of players that were projected to be surefire, first round draft picks more than 5 years ahead of time.
Exactly.
Like I'm pretty sure people knew at least 7 years before the draft that Connor McDavid was going to probably be one of the top draft picks because he was absolutely dominating at every level.
Yeah.
even even when he
I,
was like 11 or 12, he was crazy already. I know that Gretzky was never drafted. Most people don't know that. But when he was playing, when he was 13, he played against grown men and absolutely demolished them. It was
really?
crazy.
That I didn't know.
Oh God, yeah. He from the time he was about 8 years old, they started having to put him in higher leagues because he, he could compete against way bigger and better players. But yeah, he was never drafted.
I guess yeah. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
Learn something
so
new every day.
way. I don't know if you know, but way back there was a professional league that tried to compete with the NHL.
No, didn't know that. Well, didn't know that either.
Okay, so the World Hockey Association was a thing.
WHI.
Yeah,
Okay.
they attempted to make a professional league that would rival the NHL. They were very
Hmm.
successful. They did a good job of luring players. Like they got some big names from the NHL to switch over because they decided to start offering $1 million contracts. They made Bobby
Wow.
Hull, one of the most famous players ever, joined the
Hmm.
Winnipeg Jets of the WHA for $1 million a season. And at that time, that was just ludicrous. Like that was like inconceivable. He became the very first $1 million hockey player.
Hmm.
And the WHA lasted quite a few seasons. They had Gordie Howe, who played for the Hartford Whalers with his on a line with his sons Mark and Marty. They all played on a line together. Gordie Howe in his 50s, but he was still one of the best players in the league. Yeah, he was dominant even in his 50s. That's how good Gordie Howe was. And then when the WHA collapsed, um, the NHL absorbed several of their teams, as you would know, the Hartford Whalers, the Winnipeg
Yep.
Jets, the Edmonton
Uh,
Oilers.
okay.
So when Gretzky first started, he was signed by a team called the Indianapolis Racers. Okay, that's the very
Okay.
first professional team he played for in the WHA. And unfortunately, they were not doing well in Indianapolis. Hockey was not a thing, nobody cared. So the team itself was going under. And just to recoup some of his money, the owner sold Wayne Gretzky to the Edmonton Oilers. And so when the
Okay.
Edmonton Oilers joined the NHL, they already had Wayne Gretzky on their team.
Wow.
Yeah, this is why people
That's
ask, why did Wayne Gretzky never win Rookie of the Year? It's because he was never a rookie in the NHL. He was considered to have played professional hockey prior to joining the NHL.
Oh, okay. So it's not like baseball in the sense that you're a rookie as long as you haven't played in MLB beforehand. Okay.
Yeah, no, if you've played professionally, you cannot win Rookie of the Year. Um,
Okay.
but then there's a bit of a weird double standard for that one. Here, I'll explain it just a second. You're going to do my halftime talk.
Can I cut you off real quick and talk to you about my game right now?
Sure.
10 shots on target, all inside the 18-yard box, .7 xG.
Well, they're all easy shots, but still, I still think that's progress. Did you score any?
No, 0-0.
Mm. Okay, I'm only up 1-0 and I'm dominating this game.
Penalty.
I don't know. This game's dumb sometimes. Anyway, what was I saying? Fuck.
He can't win the Rookie of the Year.
Oh, okay. They said he couldn't win Rookie of the Year because he had played in the WHA and had already played professionally, which is weird because the year that the Russians all came and joined the NHL, Sergei Makarov, who was at the time was 32 years old, he's the reason that there's an age cutoff for Rookie of the Year now. He won Rookie of the Year, even though he played in the Russian league and it was professional.
Huh.
Yeah, now there's a rule that
Odd.
you can't be over 26 years old to win Rookie of the Year now. So even if you are a rookie, if you're older than 26 years old, you're not eligible in real life. So
That's an interesting rule. Because like there are late developers, you know.
well, he wasn't a late developer. He was a superstar in Russia.
No, no,
He
no,
just
no.
weren't allowed to
I
play in the
know.
NHL. Yeah, he's just an exception.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some late developers. Not as many in hockey as some, but there are some from time to time. Yeah, hockey doesn't have too many late developers. You don't find the Jamie Vardys in hockey very often. I think that the one place it happens is goaltenders. Tim Thomas was a late developer.
Okay.
You know, he
Was he a Hurricane at one point, or am I thinking of somebody else?
he might have ended his career with Carolina. He was known for Boston. He played in Boston. But yeah, I think he
Okay.
was a 32-year-old rookie, and he
Wow.
had several great seasons. Won the Vezina, won the Stanley Cup. You know, most of his NHL career happened in his mid to late 30s. So that's a rare example of a super late bloomer. Dominic
Two
Hasek was
nothing over here.
technically a late bloomer too. He really didn't start to get good till he was about 28, and then he was one of the best players for a while. It floors me because at one point, the Chicago Blackhawks had Dominic Hasek and Ed Belfour on their team. At the time, two of the greatest goalies in the league. But
Hashik, I know. The other guy, I don't.
Ed Belfour, he was one of the better goalies ever as well. But yeah, they both did much better after their Blackhawks careers. But at one point, they were both on the same team. It's like I said with the Montreal Expos years and years and years ago. Both had Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez in their minor leagues at one point simultaneously, and I was like, that would have been ridiculous if they had kept them. It's like two of the best pitchers who ever played.
Yeah. What did your game finish at, by the way?
It's not done yet.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No.
I'm in the 60th minute. Usually you're close to being done when I get to this point.
I'm at 82.
Okay. And how's your game going?
3-0 now.
Good.
So far, it's going fine. Stamenkovic has scored all 3 goals for us. But Stephenson missed a penalty.
I hate that I plug in a simple gagging press tactic and all of a sudden this team is like flying on all colors. I really do hate that.
Yeah, and you could just, like I said, you could take that and you could switch one thing, like pass into space, just an example, and the whole thing doesn't work. And it makes 0 sense.
That's not a penalty, referee. No, I agree.
Oh, I won 4-0. You're up 4-0.
Well, we're about to concede a penalty. Yep, it's not a penalty, ref. Open up your eyes. Put some contacts in.
You're about to concede
Please.
it? How do you know you're going to concede it? It hasn't been taken yet. Gotcha.
Vindication, justification. I don't know. It's what the gods wanted, the footballing gods. Cause like going back, like the reason I hate the fact that the gegenpress with DMs work is because you just then all you have to do is scout the players and that's it. Like you already know what's going to work. And I'm sorry, to me, when you have defensive midfielders and wingers, you're leaving too much space in the midfield. I don't think it should work in real life.
Nope. In the We Are Football game, I The very first thing I did was put in a 3 at the back defensive tactic where I sit back and
Mhm,
absorb the pressure and then pass the ball up and work my possession up slowly that way, and it works.
mhm.
Yep, it works. It's like, yep, that's awesome. It's
How
so nice.
how do you how do you go ahead.
How do I what?
How do you like how does someone play a different formation?
In
Like
what? Football Manager?
in
You don't.
football, right? Yeah. I know. I know. I know.
It's so limited. That's why I said the reason most people don't know a lot of the ways that this game works is because they don't want you to know how simplistic it truly is. It's frustrating how basic this game engine really actually is underneath it.
I just scored a goal that I've never seen
Yeah, I just saw
in
it.
this game.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
saw it.
I
I
yeah,
didn't
never
touch any of their
never
players, but yet it's called an own goal.
might have touched
I
the last defender.
doesn't matter. It went in
Yeah.
off of him.
N-
That's not an own goal. An own goal is when they push the ball into their own net. If deflecting off of
So
somebody isn't an own
the
goal.
the definition in football of an own goal is when the ball is clearly going away from goal and a defender redirects it such that it goes into the goal.
Yeah, well, I don't know that that
If
was
the
going
ball
away
is
from the goal either.
oh you're right. You're right.
No.
Um you're right. It could be his goal.
Yeah. I think I need to become
Um
head of. Wait, who makes all the rules for the governing body of football in the world? Nobody.
IFAB.
Yeah, not really anybody. I need to get somewhere. I need to get up the chart. So I need to get rid of the own goal. No, that needs to be a thing that doesn't exist anymore. They just need to give credit to the last player on the other team who touched it. That's just so much simpler. It fixes up statistics. It's less ugly. It goes to the player that did the damn work. What's not to like about it, right? Goal is a blight on statistical statists. I think that's a word. Stat nerds everywhere unite. Don't you think it should work that way though? They should get rid of the old goal and just give it to the last player who touched it.
I'm indifferent on it.
Right? Okay. Fair enough.
This how do people find this fun?
What, winning like this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it's better than losing?
Well, yeah. Okay. Granted, we should be beating this team
You should.
quite comfortably,
Yes.
but I don't know. It's just like I didn't do anything with my brain to figure this out.
That's not how the game works.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, you did do things with your brain. You found all those players that went out there and played that. Take that. When I get to the point where winning and winning and winning and winning and winning is just it stagnates, I try to remind myself that hey, at least I built the team. So that's where I measure my pride in is the team that I built, less so the tactic that they play.
Yeah, but for you, it's just a matter of your scouts finding the player and you setting up the recruitment focuses.
Yeah, basically.
You know.
Yep. I'm finding the right players that fit the system I have, but tactically, there's really no such thing as just making your own tactic. It's either you decide you're going to put something that works in or something that doesn't work in. Those are your choices.
Yeah. I
I think
wonder how
people
many
are
goals
people are
I've
like,
been
well,
scoring.
I want to make my own tactic until I find something that works. Like, okay, fair enough. Go ahead and do that. Or you could just put something in you know works right away. You're still not guaranteed to win everything. You still have to make adjustments in the game for
True.
certain situations. It's not just it's not there is no one tactic that you can plug in right now that will win you every single game with no effort at all.
And so I have to try real football.
Yeah, because on
I
that one,
also have.
it's,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I also have a database that downloads a lot more leagues and players.
For We Are Football,
Yeah.
you have a database for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Steam.
No, I just played it with fake teams and players like it has because I'm finding that more fun.
That's fair. I gotta try it again because it crashed on the first game.
It
I might have
crashed.
made
Oh.
the. Yeah.
I have not run into that problem.
Oh
It,
yeah.
it's never crashed on me.
Um.
The fact that it's so stable is one of the things I've been liking about it.
That's good.
All right, Newcastle, you're going down. These guys are right behind me in the standings. So.
We home. Shit. Where's Poliak? Poliak's on heavy match load.
Oh shit! Oh,
What?
my cat just stink bombed.
Ooh. We can make this
Oh.
one the last game.
No, no. Well,
'Cause
it's up to you if that's what you want.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah. That way you can also head
Oh, I'm
into
gonna
that
go.
match.
I'm gonna go deal with that now as soon as I start this game. That's only gonna take a couple of seconds. I am not leaving that there. Okay, got all my heavy match loads off of the starters. I got a bunch on the bench, but I'll have to live with that. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. Hopefully we don't lose just because I, rotated 3 players, but this game loves doing shit like that. Loves it. Okay, I'm gonna deal with this right now because it's awful. Just awful. You stink. He's looking at me like, what?
What I do?
Yeah, right? That's basically it. Come on, keep get in the way. I'll feed you while I'm up. Uh, oh! There you go, bud. Yep, happy bunch. Alright, coming back, and I'm up 2-0. Love it. Love it. Oh, but they scored just as I sat down. Okay, I guess I better go away again. What did they score on? Did they score on their only shot attempt? Oh, well, of course they did. Wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
Yeah.
So I'll play this tactic this season because I said I would, and next season I'm going to probably try to go back to something that gets me clean sheets again because I don't get clean sheets with this tactic, like at all, basically. But it wins a lot of possession, and that's what I said I wanted to do, was possession-based this season. And I wanted something that would make an AMC work well. We got that rolling. Took a lot of work and tries to get something that would make an AMC work, but hey, we got it.
%71 possession.
Well, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you upset by this?
Because I didn't even. It's the base tactic.
Yeah. I know.
I didn't change anything. The only thing I changed was work ball into the box. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I mean, if you're feeling that bad about it, I could help. I could help you with it. Help your conscience a little bit.
How so?
I can make you tear it down. You ready? At the end of the day, you end up using one of my tactics anyway. Because if you put in a default gegenpress, those are all mine, baby.
Oh, well, yeah. So you win in the end.
Yep. Oh, come on. Seriously? Do I really actually need an injury when I don't have any subs left? I guess I do. Okay, at least he's not coming off. So. Let's hope he makes it through the end of the game. He not only made it through the end of the game, he added an assist to his 2 goals at the end. So I guess he wasn't terribly hurt, which is nice.
Side. Middle. This is a League One. You had a perfect free kick opportunity and you botched it. It wasn't even that hard to execute. I don't care that it's preseason.
Preseason? What are you talking about?
In this game on TV.
Oh, the game on TV. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes a lot more sense. I thought you were talking about your FM game right now.
Yes.
What?
Negatives.
That game's already over?
No, we're in the 65th minute.
And you are winning.
Yeah.
Beat Newcastle 5-1. God damn, look at those numbers. 75%. Granted, Sheffield United's like the last place team, but God, man, you're just spanking them.
Right? It's not fun.
Well, you're only up 1-0, so.
Yes, but again, like you said, it's going to be.
Well, you don't enjoy losing, so I don't know what you define fun as then. Like, that's just it. Like, I don't know. Like, you're like, how is that fun? I'm like, it's better than losing.
Making my own tactic and coming up with a solution.
There is no such thing as making your own tactic.
I know.
At the end of the day, it's no such thing. It's just rotating a bunch of possible tactics around until you find one of the ones that works in the game. And those are already predetermined. So you might as well just fucking grab one at the start and be done with it.
Okay.
And then you just focus on building the teams, building the players, doing the shouts, making the rotations, and your substitutions in games. Wow! I just saw your players fly off of the pitch. Because the game was trying to catch up to where you were. And some of your players literally flew off of the pitch. That was so funny. Must have been substitutions you made?
Yes.
Yeah, on my screen it changed. Your players were all lined up to do the center kick, and then it stopped, and a bunch of your players flew off the screen, and then it came back when your subs had come on, and then it did the kick. That was great. I gotta go back and look at that on the VOD and slow it down just to get the lulls. I'm really happy they got a shot on target and didn't score it though. That makes me a little bit happier to see.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I gotta do what you do.
What do I do? Praise the whole team?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just what I do, it's just what works. They all get happy about it. They're like, yay, we're playing well. So then they keep doing that. It gives them a small boost to their attributes or something. So when they get positive reactions, negative reactions gives a small minus to certain attributes. And that's
This is
why
gonna be cool.
shouts matter, but they don't work very well, and they've even admitted that. Isn't that funny?
Kill.
How they're taking it out of the next game because they're like, they don't work very well. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like only 2 or 3 of them that even work.
We're gonna go 35-3. I'm sorry, 35, 1 and 2. I guess I think we have a
Got 3
draw
subs
in
you
there
can still
somewhere.
make.
Yeah, but all my subs are on heavy match load, so I'm not using them.
That's still managing their minutes. What's 10 minutes of a game? It's just to stretch their legs a little and say that they played it so they don't bitch about their playing time.
Fair.
That's what I do. It's like, which of my players are on key player or important player status? Well, you're getting subbed on for the last 5 minutes so that you don't bitch that you don't play. And it works. Isn't praising the whole team an amazing thing? This is what they do.
Excuse me. Well, 4-0 victory.
That's a very, very solid game. I don't want to play against your team. Seriously, you're going to beat us now.
Yeah, right. All right.
EFL Cup's next. Yeah, having that one for next time is just fine.
Wait. Let me rest my players.
You do that.
Come on.
I'm going to have a lot of contracts to give out at the end of the season.
You?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. All my guys are like, I want more money, I want more money. And I'm like, end of the season. They're like, okay.
All right. All right, you can save it.
Hey, I'm saving it up. Well, that was fun. That was a good couple and a half hours. I hope anybody that's still watching had a good time. We'll be back
Yep.
most likely next week. And until then, have fun.